In today's video, we are checking out one of Minecraft's best prehistoric mods, with a journey to go out and find fossils scattered all around your world, a whole revival process to bring back extinct creatures, and even the choice to create and manage your own Jurassic Park. So let's just jump straight into it. So in the past, we have checked out a bunch of mods that all have something to do with dinosaurs. And 9 times out of 10 on those dinosaur videos, there's always a comment telling me to check out the mod in today's video. And thinking about it now, I do feel kind of bad not checking this out sooner because it is definitely one of the best out there. And with this mod giving you the chance to resurrect a bunch of different extinct animals like these guys right here, let me show you how to actually get started. So the first step in bringing some of these creatures back to life is to actually stumble across these fossil sites that will appear all around your world. But the main biomes that you're going to find these the most are the deserts. Sometimes you'll even find them in the snowy areas like this one, or even the classic run-of-the-mill plains biome. So when you actually approach these, you'll be able to tell straight away that these blocks definitely do not belong in vanilla Minecraft. And these fossil blocks right here are basically going to be the entire foundation for you bringing the extinct animals back to life. So if we go ahead and mine a couple of these, sometimes you are just going to get basic bones like this one right here. But if you are lucky, you can actually come across these right here, the biofossils. And there we go. We got the achievement digging deep. So it is kind of a chance game depending on if you actually get decent fossils or if you're just going to end up with classic bones. But realistically, you do kind of want to keep hold of the regular bones for now. And I'm pretty sure in each dig site, there is actually only a handful of these fossil blocks. So once you've kind of cleared it out, you kind of need to move on to the next one. And I'd say that it's definitely worth it if you actually go around and hunt down all these different structures and basically get as many of these different fossils as you can. The more of these that you get, the better luck you're actually going to have in getting some dinosaurs. So from quickly mining 3 of these different fossil sites, we have actually only ended up with 3 biofossils. So yeah, you definitely have to work hard for your fossils, but trust me, it's all going to be worth it. So diving a little bit deeper into the actual fossil blocks themselves, there are actually 3 main ones that you want to look out for. So we've got the regular ones, we've also got the tile ones, and we've also got the shale ones. You can see that they're all different colors, and I could be wrong on this. If I am, definitely let me know in the comments. But I'm pretty sure that each one of these different fossil types down here are actually corresponding for different eras. So once you've got your hands on an absolute ton of different fossils right here, you are going to want to craft one of these right here, also known as the analyzer, which is actually a pretty cheap recipe. All you're going to need is some iron, one of those fossils right there that you collected, and one of these relic scraps, which pretty much drop at the same rate as these biofossils right here. And so what the analyzer does, as the name implies, all you need to do is drop the biofossils in there. The bar will slowly start to go up, and this is basically going to shuffle through all the different fossils that you have and basically drop any DNA that it finds or any items that it finds within those fossils in these little slots down here. With the first one that we got being the Aquilolamna. And yeah, if you've seen any of the other dinosaur videos, I'm absolutely terrible at pronouncing these, so just, you know, just bear with me on this one. And very similar to how it's a chance game when it actually comes to mining the fossils, this again is going to be a little bit of a chance game depending on whether you just get regular blocks or items compared to the actual DNA that you want, which is why I said earlier that having as many of these fossils as you can is definitely going to pay off in the long run. There we go. We got another one. We got an alligator gar. So instead of it being a case where you can actually just pick and choose what dinosaur you want, it is going to be completely random each time, which honestly is a hell of a lot better because that way you get to actually check out a bunch of different dinosaurs and prehistoric creatures that, you know, instead of just going straight for the T-Rex like most people do. So let's go ahead and leave this analyzer do its thing for now. And I can tell you about the next part of the process, which involve these green blocks right here, which are also known as the culture vats. So if I go ahead and grab the Gallimimus DNA right here, you'll see that unlike the analyzer, nothing really happens, which is where along with farming as many fossils as possible, you are also going to need to farm as much biogoo as possible, like this stuff right here. And with the actual recipe to create biogoo, you're going to need some milk, some wheat, some rotten flesh, and basically any spare eggs that you actually have laying around. So if I go ahead and collect all this biogoo right here, you'll be able to see that this thing does actually take quite a lot of time, and we even have like a little meter here very similar to like a furnace telling you how much goo you actually need. But inside the actual culture vat itself, you will start to see your dinosaur actually forming in real time. Like, look at that. And that's one thing that I actually really enjoy about this mod, is that it really doesn't skip out on the small things. Like a lot of the times in dinosaur prehistoric mods, it seems like you actually just sort of use one of these and then you get the spawn egg. But this one, you actually have to watch it and wait for it to fully grow, which is pretty much about as Jurassic Park as it actually gets in Minecraft. And looking into all the different species you can get, you can see right here that there is an absolute ton of these guys, ranging from the classics like the Spinosaurus and even the Mosasaurus right there, and even going as far as having prehistoric insects that you can revive, and that one right there, which I will definitely not be checking out. But we also get our hands on a bunch of fossilized plants and fauna as well, which are these sort of ones that I've decorated the base with. And as you can tell just by looking at them, they definitely fit the whole prehistoric vibe. And so after all that yapping, our Gallimimus egg is actually now ready. And this dinosaur egg right here isn't actually going to act like a spawn egg where it just pops up normally, because if we place this down, you'll see that it is actually its own entity right there. And when I was first checking out the mod and trying to learn this whole process thing, I was really confused on what to actually do next or how long it takes, which is where one of the most important items in the whole mod comes into play, and that is the Dinopedia. And when you go to right click this, it doesn't actually act like any other book, as what this book is actually used for is checking the progress and the stats of all your different dinosaurs. So right here we have the Gallimimus egg. We can actually see the hatch process and the status of it. And just like I showed you all that different DNA DNA earlier. Some of these guys are going to lay normal eggs like this Gallimimus right here, but a lot of the times they're going to be like ocean ones or even ones that hatch better in colder biomes. So definitely get a hold of one of these books because it is definitely going to save your life and the dinosaur's life as well. And when it does reach the 90% mark, you'll see that it starts actually wobbling about just like this until eventually you'll have your very own small Gallimimus just rolling around right here. And these things are absolutely tiny. And this isn't even the smallest one you can get. Like, you can get dinosaurs that aren't even a pixel big. So when these guys first hatch, you might be panicking a bit because they might run around and start doing some crazy stuff. But if we use the book and right click him, you will get a whole sum of knowledge based on that dinosaur that you've just hatched. So we get the age, the health, the hunger, the type of diet that they have. So this animal eats both plants and meat. As you can see on the right here, we basically have the whole dinosaur's diet, as well as their happiness meter as well, which is definitely a key part in this. Which, yeah, we'll come back to keeping your dinosaurs happy in just a minute. And I think I've actually already lost it. Okay, no, he was hiding in the grass the whole time. Okay, so if we right click this guy again, you'll be able to see that the order item is actually a stick, which if we actually try and use on this dude right here, it isn't going to do anything. As first things first, when you actually hatch a new egg, is that you actually need to tame the dinosaur itself. So just like it said, we can feed this guy a bunch of different stuff, and sometimes it is only going to take one pork chop, sometimes it's literally going to take the whole stack. But you can see that now when we actually right click, we can change it to stay in, follow in, or wander in. And so if you wanted to learn more about your own dinosaur, all you need to do is turn onto the second page right here, and you'll basically have this whole sort of article telling you everything that you need to know about that dinosaur. And so over time, the more that you actually feed it, the more this thing is going to grow. And just like we saw the embryo growing over there, these guys are going to have different stages where they look completely different to how they first started out, until eventually you will have yourself a fully grown dinosaur. Look at this guy. And considering that this is just a random dinosaur picked out of the fossil right over there, you can see that this mod takes its modeling and texturing very, very seriously. Like, these guys look really, really cool. All the different animations. Like, look how this guy's just like chilling there right now. That is so sick. And realistically, with this mod, the more dinosaurs that you have, the more chaotic it is going to get, meaning that it would definitely be worthwhile you setting up a couple of different like pens or areas for each different sort of individual dinosaur or creature, and at that point basically creating your own Jurassic Park. So let me go ahead and leave this Gallimimus right here, and I can show you a bunch of the different creatures that are actually available in this mod. So just to actually spawn a couple of these guys in that you can bring back from extinction, we have things like the alligator guy right here, which look really, really cool. All of these guys are just super well modeled. There's a bunch of different land dinosaurs like the Allosaurus right here. We have the Ankylosaurus, absolute classic. I love these guys. We have another marine type one right here, the Leoplorodon, and as you can see, they are not going to be friendly towards any other sea life, so definitely keep an eye on these guys if you do hatch them. We have one of the most recognizable ones, the Brachiosaurus, an absolute tank right here. We have these raptor looking ones right here. We have the Dimorphodons, like the birds. And if you saw the skeletons back at the base, we also get our hands on mammoths just like this guy. Look at that. Like, I feel like it's pretty rare to see like a mammoth in a Minecraft mod these days. So yeah, I'm definitely happy about that one. And of course, who could forget about the dodos right here as well, which have such a cool sound effect to them. You can see the animation of them eating and everything like that. Look at him waddle. Look at that. Like, imagine just having a whole army of these guys just following you around. I'm pretty sure I'm definitely not the only person in this mod that's actually tried this, but I mean, it's definitely possible. So getting back to our pet Gallimimus right here and giving him a right click with the book, as I briefly mentioned earlier, this up here is actually the creature's mood. And you can see right now that it is actually at 75. And if we hover over the smiley face, it will say this mob is content, it will not attack you. And yeah, as you can probably assume, when these guys get angry, or any type of dinosaur gets angry, they're not going to be too friendly towards you. Which is where, when you do actually build yourself a pen for all these guys, you have an option of things like bouncy balls right here, which some of them will actually play with. We also get things like tethered logs for these guys to actually bump into and fight with. There's even little enrichment things like bubble blowers right here to keep them all nice and happy. And maybe in your own version of Jurassic Park, you're not going to be able to hand feed every single one of these guys, which is where the feeders come in. And as you can see here with it counting down, this will actually deposit all of the food that you've placed in these little slots. And then whenever your dinosaurs are actually hungry, they will actually come to this box and basically feed for themselves. You know, leaving you in control of, making sure that the park doesn't get hit by a thunderstorm and everything goes sideways. And you can see that just by having some of these items actually around this guy, their happiness meter is actually fully at 100%. So unlike a lot of prehistoric or dinosaur mods, this one, you actually have to keep them like well fed, you have to keep them happy, as yeah, these creatures will not be happy if you don't look after them. And yeah, by checking out this mod, it's actually got me really interested in doing like a playthrough, like a whole series on this. So if you are interested, do let me know down in the comments. So yeah, if you are interested in building your own Jurassic Park or prehistoric park, or you just absolutely love dinosaurs or anything like that, definitely check this mod out, as it is really, really cool. And yeah, in this video, we've basically only scratched the surface when it comes to actually resurrecting stuff, but I'll let you guys bump into the rest on your own, because it is very, very cool. So if you did enjoy the video, be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. And as always, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.